What's Good podcast.
Hey, ladies and gents, thank you so much for tuning into another episode of What's Good Podcast Season 4. And as you guys know, we do not have interviews. Instead, we have genuine conversations. So let's get into it. Today, I have the homie joining me and Harvey. This is what, second time around?
Second time. I was featured on the first season because I brought somebody on. So,
Sure did. And he did not want to get on the mic. He was not having it. And then you joined us second season. And today we're back at it again. So thank you so much for joining me.
I appreciate you having me on.
Yes.
And I told you, I'm going to be on every season.
He did.
Whatever the topic is, I'm going to get into the industry or I'm going to bring somebody on. I'm going to be on here somewhere.
So I'm going to figure out how to get on your show every season. I just thank you for your support with that. Because some people, they just come on just to come on. But you legit be like, okay, Bree, like, what's next? No, thank you.
I like the support. Like, you cool people. So, I'm going to support any way I can.
Thank you. Same here. That's why I have no problem. As soon as I got season 4, I was like, Harvey, you ready? We ready? You ready? Come on.
Like, when you put that list up, I like that. One or two. Either one,
I'm a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so crazy. I just did the recording for episode 1. And I was telling, people that was listening that I put the survey out and retail was the number 1 vote. And I'm listening to you guys. If you want retail, then that's what we're going to do. And that was the number 1 vote. So that's how we got Harvey here today.
Yep.
And with that being stated, we're going to go ahead and get started with our icebreaker. You already know. So the icebreaker for today, what do you consider to be a success as an entrepreneur?
For me, a success would be, being able to quit your 9 to 5.
Have you already quit your 9 to 5? Not yet.
Not yet.
We're going to speak it, not yet. So
my 9 to 5 is kind of passive income because my workload is extremely light. So I just clock in and I'll be looking at the computer.
Really? So do you think you would ever quit, or you think you would be able to balance both?
I don't know if I'll be able to balance both because when I do have work, I'm working. But it's been times where I ain't had work for months. Like,
really?
So even during this pandemic, I'm blessed to still have a job, even though my workload is extremely light. They could have easily been cut me off.
True. But they still kept you, so that's good. So with that being stated, we're going to go ahead and get started with our genuine conversation. Who is Harvey? That's how we always start off with each episode. Who is Harvey?
I hate talking about myself. I really do.
Let me tell y'all, for one, if y'all are watching this, we had to go ahead and create an atmosphere so Harvey could relax. So we got a little hookah, we got some shakes, we got some teas going on.
I wanted some shots, but they have.
So shout out to Java. We are here with another episode. They provided the hookah and we got our teas. So you ready? You gonna calm down now?
I'm calm, but I just don't like talking about myself.
Okay.
But I don't know. Do you want to describe myself? What I do?
Who is Harvey? Whatever that means to you. If that's personal, if that's business, whatever that means to you.
Harvey is a extremely, chill, relaxed person. Conservative. Got a lot of ventures going on. At the moment, I do taxes. Do little Forex trading when I feel like it, because that's kind of time consuming. Have the clothing brand, do artist management. About to get into wholesale real estate. Now, if I get that rolling, I'm quitting my job.
Okay. That's gonna be it right there.
That's gonna be the money make the quick moneymaker.
Okay. Okay.
Mm, that's about it.
Okay. Okay. So let's dive into all the different things that you have going on. As you mentioned, retail, you do a little bit of trading. How did the business mindset start for you?
Mm, I feel like I've always had a business mindset
Mm-hmm.
because I'm allowed to curse.
Yeah, go
Okay.
Do
The
you?
motto they say, money talk, bullshit walk.
True.
Growing up, I ain't really have chores for real. It's just take out the trash, clean up my room.
Mm-hmm.
But I went to my grandmama's house one time,
Mm-hmm.
and she paid me to sweep them out the floors. And then
Mm.
she told my mama, and my mama was like, I ain't even know you know how to do that. Hey, you ain't money talk. Hey,
I'm gonna figure this thing out. Get paid for it.
mm-hmm. So it's certain things that I'll even learn how to do if
Mm-hmm.
the money is right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so, when people give you that opportunity and say, "Hey, can you do this?" Do you take time to learn it if you don't know how to do it, or do you just say, "I know I can't do it. I'm gonna have to say no."
It depends on what it is. Like
Mm-hmm.
if it's something that I feel like it's gonna really take me some time to learn how to do, then
Mm-hmm.
I'll delegate it. Like I'll be like, hey, I know somebody that knows how to do it.
That's good.
Because that is one thing that I'm good with, networking.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people in a lot of different areas.
Yeah.
So if I can't do it, I'll at least point you in the right direction.
So, how do you keep those relationships with people, as you mentioned, networking? Because, of course, you meet somebody one time, but then the relationship part is that you still keep in touch. Because I met you my very first launch party,
Mm-hmm.
and we still here after 2 years. So, when it comes to your strategy on keeping relationships, what does that look like?
It depends on the type of relationship. Like
Mm-hmm.
if it started out, as a business relationship, that's probably what it's mainly gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
It could evolve into, like a true friendship or whatever. But I don't know. And if it's a friendship, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the type of person that you gonna talk to every day. Unless you reaching out to me every day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm straight to the point. I'm not really big on small talk.
Yeah.
How was your day? It's the same every single day. Like
It's,
I went to
it's the
work,
same.
and
Mm-hmm.
but when we're in contact,
Mm-hmm.
it's always gonna be a certain vibe you're gonna get from me.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's really what keeps my relationships
That's
together.
good. That's good.
Like even though we friends, we might not talk for months, but when
Mm-hmm.
we talk, it's like we picking up
That's good.
right where we left off. So.
Mm-hmm. That's good. So let's get into Opulence by Lee. And that's the clothing brand you mentioned earlier. Tell me, how did that business come about? 'Cause like you mentioned, you got your hands in different things. But when it came to Opulence by Lee, what was the inspiration?
It started with the management because I was helping one of my coworkers who became one of my friends
Mm-hmm.
with their music. I wanted to help them with marketing, but they started asking and suggesting things that they wanted to do, and I was kind of making it happen. They made me their manager,
Nice.
and then I started working with another coworker
Mm-hmm.
with their modeling, and then it was just like I'm helping all these people do, what they want to do. What
Mm-hmm.
do I want to do?
Mm-hmm.
And I always get compliments on how I dress, and that's how the clothing line started. And I don't know, the penguin one is my favorite animal,
Mm-hmm.
and I've said this all the time. Birds. When we think of birds, they fly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Penguins don't,
Mm-hmm.
and it to me it symbolizes being different.
Mm-hmm.
And clothing is, I feel like, a way to express yourself.
Ah.
So it's one of the new mottos I'm thinking about changing to is fly but grounded.
Oh, I like that. And it's still based on, well, based around the penguin.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. So, what does the creativity look like? Is it like a spiral and you just writing down different things? Because if you're watching, I've had this spiral since the very beginning of this podcast. So, what does the creativity look like for you? Do you use your phone? Like, okay, I had a thought real quick. Let me go ahead and write it down. Or do you take time out to, like, okay, this is going to be for Opulence by Lee. Let's make some ideas happen.
When I first started, I did sit down and, drew out a couple designs or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's just kind of, if it comes to my head, pull out my phone or something to write it down
Mm-hmm.
so I don't forget it.
Mm. And how did you come up with the colors for the different shirts?
Me personally, I like different colored
Mm-hmm.
stuff just because, like I said, fashion is a way to express yourself.
True.
Like, so all these shoes, they're coming out mismatched color. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Like, some people hate it. I love it. Like, I just like different varieties. I don't, because like I said, I'm not outspoken.
Mm-hmm.
So you gonna see me before you hear me.
Mm. Because even the outfit that you have on, I love it. Because you got one of those ones, what are
Mm-hmm.
those? And
Yeah.
those the different colors. And then you
Mm-hmm.
got your shirt taking out one of the colors on there.
See, it's
It's
simple,
simple. Uh-huh.
but you gonna see me.
This is true. This is true. Because we were just talking about before we started. I love his catalog when it comes to shoes. And I was like, are you going to do anything with shoes in the future? And what you say?
I'm trying to get into the sneaker resale business.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if I'm ready to make that investment yet. But
Let's get back to Opulence Molly. So I love the marketing plan. When I go to your page, I just love there's a variety of different races, different cultures, and things like that. Was that a strategy that you just wanted, anybody and everybody you can purchase from us, or just be in a comfortable environment for any type of community? What was the idea for your marketing plan?
that was strategic.
Mm-hmm.
It was a tough decision because when I had the photo shoot, that was when like the Black Lives Matter was kind of at its peak.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and went with, having different ethnicities for my photo shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, like you said, I want to show diversity.
Right.
I don't want just people to think, oh, this is for Black people
Mm-hmm.
and Black people only. I wanted it to be, open to any and everybody.
Mm, that's good. So, what makes your clothing brand different from the next person?
Me.
Okay.
Me. But nah, like I said, it's a way to express yourself. I'm gonna come out with different colors.
Mhm,
I'm in kind of not really branding
mhm,
phase, but I guess a rebuilding phase
mhm.
with different designs. So if you're a graphic designer, hit me up.
Come
I have
on.
some things in mind. I just need people to implement them,
Mhm.
especially if you can draw, on a tablet or on the computer, or even if you can draw by hand or paint and get it digitized. Hit me up.
Oh,
Hit me up.
I like that. I like that a lot. All right. So, when it comes to the journey, I really like this segment, highs and lows. You know how this goes. Let's start with the highs. Anything, if that's personal, if that's business, anything that you could say, Harvey, you did that. Let me pat myself on the back.
I'll go back to networking.
Mm-hmm. Cause you do a phenomenal job.
I'm in a position to where I can be a vendor for a major event.
Mm.
I'm not really gonna speak on what that event is
Mm-hmm,
because
mm-hmm.
I don't even know if it's gonna happen because of COVID.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But if I can get into that, that will be a major stepping stone for the brand.
Nice. So you don't have to mention it, but how did you get that opportunity? You don't have to say the name of it. Just give us a sprinkle on how
I
you
mean, the
would
way I
approach that
got to
opportunity.
My father's new girlfriend.
Shout out to her.
I'm
Going back to networking though.
Hey, I'm for real. Yeah.
That's what's up. Then she was like, this event is coming up. Do you want to be a part of it?
Yeah.
So how do you prepare for that type of event?
Slowly, because I'm going to have inventory for this event, like a lot of inventory.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm in the mode of doing right now, building up my inventory.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, I don't know.
Okay.
Like, I don't know.
Well, when it gets close, I'm sure other things are going to probably pop up.
Mm,
That makes sense. Okay, so on the other spectrum, what are some lows where it kind of questioned Opulence Bodily or any other business ventures that you have going on, or even just personal? Anything that was like, oh, should I move forward with this? Should I not? Kind of questioning yourself. And then on top of that, as far as part B, what did you do to push through to still make it happen?
so when I came out with the Duality collection,
Mhm.
which is when I had the bombers, the joggers and all that.
Yes, I do remember that.
That didn't sell, how I wanted it to.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of my, I guess, come to moment.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I realized, let me fall back,
Mm-hmm.
go back to the basics,
Mm-hmm.
focus on the t-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And once those are selling at a regular basis, then we can branch out. And with that, honestly, I just started texting people. Anybody that purchased from me, I text them their opinions
That's
to get
good.
feedback. And I wanted honest feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Most of it was positive,
Mm-hmm.
but I did get, some people that was real with me.
That's good. And how did you take that in? Because certain times we like to receive the good, but then when the bad comes, we get, I don't know, they maybe just be hating. So how did you take in?
I definitely didn't take it as hate, no.
Okay.
Because I reached out to you and I asked for your honest opinion.
Right.
So I can't be mad because you don't like a certain thing. That's why I reached out. So I know what I can improve on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then with that and, reading, that's when I, decided, fall back, focus just on the t-shirts till I get to, a certain point. Because one book I read, it was saying basically before you move on to your second product, you need to be selling around 25 items a day of one item.
Dang. Dang.
I know that
Okay.
sounds like a lot, but all right. I don't know if I'm gonna wait till I'm at 25 a day, but until it's a consistent selling item, then we'll branch out.
That's good to know. That makes sense to me because if this isn't consistent, you just hopping and hopping and hopping, you probably gonna be spending more money than what you're making.
Yeah. And that's really what I was doing.
Really? Look at me, I don't even know. Okay.
That's and good. I'm also doing little simple changes. Like the logo is no longer gonna be on the left shoulder, it's gonna be in the middle.
Okay.
That way, if you want to throw on a jacket, you can still see the logo.
True. Because I noticed when I had my cardigan on, and if you're watching, we do have on the shirts. I noticed when I put my cardigan on or a jacket, it hides it. So that was good. What other things are you going to change?
Just different designs as far as the penguin and some designs that may not even be a penguin and just put opulence, maybe the bottom left of the shirt or the back of the shirt, just different things.
What would your advice be?
It's gonna be the same as always. Just do it. Just go for it. You may not have an exact plan, and that's okay sometimes. Sometimes the best thing to do is learn as you go.
Hey, I understand that.
Like Thomas Edison, he failed 10,000 times. Well, failed 10,000 times, but we got the light bulb.
Well, okay. We do have a light bulb. No, I think that's a really good example because people see failure and then they just quit because it just didn't work out for them. It didn't come out what they thought. Versus keep going and then maybe that next door would be the results that you're looking for.
Yeah. You got to look at failure as basically what not to do.
Mm.
Not as failure, but a lesson learned.
Yep.
Keep moving.
Yep.
The more times you fail, the faster you're gonna get to success.
Mm-hmm. Because I feel like those results, when it comes to success, is going to be that much more fulfilling than any of the learning lessons or the failures, what people call, or the mistakes. I think the end result is going to be that much more fulfilling once you get there.
It is. Because I mean, going through something, the trials and tribulations versus just succeeding first try, it's not gonna feel the same. Like it's people that hit the lottery and be broke.
Come on, I like that analogy.
They weren't prepared for the money. They didn't really earn it. Like they don't know what to do with it. So they, buying cars, houses, helping out family members, this and that, and broke just as quick as they got it.
I love that. I never thought about that. People be wanting to level up and not ready for it.
Even athletes. It's plenty of bankrupt athletes.
So. It is. They didn't know what to do because I hate to say it like this. Sorry if I offend anybody, but you never.
Some people need their feelings.
That's true. When people never have it, they're not ready for that level up. And that's how I see it. And that's why I feel like you have to gain your way up the pole because you're getting prepared for it versus all of a sudden I'm a millionaire or I got this record deal and they give me my advance. And then, of course, the money looks good because it's right in front of you, that instant gratification. But then I'm going to blow it because that's all I know. I never had this money before. So I'm just going to do what I want to do at this point. I never thought about it like that.
And even if you do get it, like, that's when your circle comes into play too.
Sure does.
Because if you ain't got people telling you the right thing to do, guiding you in the right direction, you still going to end up, on your ass.
That's true. I definitely agree. With MC Hammer, how he was, how he gave all his people money and chains, and then he ended up being broke.
Allen Iverson, his Reebok deal really saved him.
Yes, it did.
Because they had it set up
50,
until
40?
a certain age where he get X amount. Because he was literally only wearing outfits once and throwing them away.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
I mean, I know you're rich and all, but you can, wear this jacket with another fit. Like, you ain't got to just throw it out, man. Like,
that is so true.
You got on a $10,000 mink coat and you just gonna throw it out.
And that's when you got to eat that humble pie. During those times, that's when you got to eat that humble pie. But that was good, Harvey. I never thought about it like that. That was good. Okay. So what's up next for you, your brand? How can people get in touch with you? How can people purchase these amazing shirts? Tell the people that's listening.
OpulenceByLee.com. That's the website. At Opulence by Lee on all social media. And what's next? I'm trying to do vendor events. So if you come up on anything, if the viewers come up on anything, hit me up. And I really want to get to a point where I can find them on my own and be proficient so I can just, okay, this weekend I can do this weekend I can do that. And then it's a couple retail stores that I'm looking at that I want to get in contact with. I just got to get my inventory up so I can be able to, furnish those needs.
Okay, because you got to get prepared and be ready when the opportunity arises.
So yeah, retail stores and more vendorships. Those are the next moves.
Well, y'all heard them. If y'all have any opportunities, any events, anything to help out Harvey, definitely reach out. Y'all got all his information. Got you a vendor. Quality shirts. I know I have the black one and it has not faded. And I have a lot of shirts. After a while, so many washes, they fade out. And so I want to make sure I mention that as far as my feedback. I love the quality of your shirts.
And that's one thing I try to pride myself on is the quality. Because I ordered samples of some sweats. They have not been released because I did not like the quality of them.
Yeah.
I felt like they were too thin, the zippers were getting stuck, and they ran small. Like, I ordered my size, and they was flooding before I washed them.
Oh, so, no. That's a problem.
When you come out of the sweats, at this point, never.
Until we
when
get
I get
right.
a better vendor, yeah, because that wasn't it.
Okay, before we end it, what does that process look like for you to find the perfect vendor? Like, what are some qualities that you look for?
Depending on the product, like with the sweats, I would have wanted them to be, a little thicker. Like I said, the zipper gets stuck sometimes. That's an issue for me. And I also look at the way it washes. If it washed and then it shrink up, nah. If it washed, the design coming off.
No go.
So, I wear and tear it a little bit before I put it out there.
That's good. So how long do you do that, the testing of your product before you're like, okay, this is it?
I'll do just one wash to make sure it lasts. Like,
okay.
Because you can kind of tell, like, if something, like, with that shirt, if it's going to peel or crack, it's going to give you some type of sign after that first wash.
I love this. It's so comfortable. As he mentioned, it's in the middle. You can see the pink one. All right. So, did you have any last thoughts? Anything that you want to share? Anything you feel that we missed today?
I can think of. Do you have any more questions?
I am good. I just want to make sure we got everything that you need. Anything you thought about? Any advice? Anything you need?
I feel like we got everything up.
Everything? Okay, Harvey. Look, we got him to talk today. Look at you. All right.
This might have been my best interview.
This has been your best? Yes. So I know now I'm on for season 5. We're going to get you a hookah. We're going to get you some shots. We're going to go ahead and get everything prepped so Harvey can come and show out. All right. So for the motivational moment, you guys know it's either a verse, a quote, anything that just sparks my eye when I read it. I always bring it on the show. So today it's by Quentin Blake. Inspiration is some mysterious blessing which happens when the wheels are turning smoothly. So I'm going to repeat again. Inspiration is some mysterious blessing which happens when the wheels are turning smoothly. So when I first thought about this, I was thinking about when I just sit and I'm chilling, some of my best thought process comes in. I may be in the shower, I may be driving, and it just flows. Sometimes I have pulled over before, like, okay, I got to write that down. That was real, real good. Or as soon as I do, sit down and I'm able to write it down, I do what I need to do because there was a reason why that vision came about. And so I don't know if it's going to happen then or later, but it's going to come. And so when I do think about this, when my inspiration happens, that's why I want to ask you, how does that creativity work for you? It's never any chaos. I think that's the most smooth part of the process of being an entrepreneur is when you're inspired, when you have the vision, when certain things are being spoken to you for you to, move forward with it. Now, the work, yeah, that's the hard part. But just getting the ideas, that's the smooth part of the process. Like I don't have to think too hard. It just comes natural. Like it's downloaded into me. And I'm like, okay, this is it right here. Because when I tell you at the beginning of this, all of this
You
is
said that's from the beginning.
September 30th, 2018 at 6:30 p.m. Podcast.
So my first interview was in there somewhere.
Yes, it is. Yes. You and DJ and everybody else. Everybody's interviews are in here. And that's why I keep this journal, because it just gives me so much. I always pray about it before I start writing. And it just comes so natural. And so for you, as I'm reading this quote, what do you think about?
I definitely agree with it. Because like you said, in the shower, I take long showers. I ain't gonna lie, like, I don't really be in there bathing the whole time. Like, I be, clearing my mind, because that's a time where I know for a fact, no one's going to bother me.
Mm-hmm.
That is my time. And a lot of ideas come in the shower. A lot of ideas, like you said, when there is no chaos. Mm-hmm. Like, when you are relaxed, even just doing something, enjoying yourself. You might be out somewhere, might think of something.
That's true.
And I feel like, people that are writers, I feel like they get writer's block because they're trying to force it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you might just have to take a step back, relax.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it'll flow natural. It'll come. Mm-hmm. It'll come.
Good. Look at you dropping these jewels. That was good. All right, y'all. Well, that is a wrap. I just want to say thank you so much, Harvey.
Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome.
I'm going to force my way on the show every season.
Harvey said, I'm coming. Where you need me, I'm coming. Well, if you don't have any last thoughts, this is it. This is a wrap. If you're listening to this morning, noon, evening, or night, thank you guys so much for tuning into What's Good podcast with Brianna Javon, my guest of the day, Harvey. Make sure that you support this fella and just be there and celebrate him. Y'all have a great one, and we'll see y'all next week.